Should I keep my glasses on or should I take them off?
I don't know. It's not up to me. I don't make these things. We're just superstitious people. All right. All right. Well, first off, thank you for coming back. This will be probably our last meeting ever. No, I'm just kidding.
Why?
Because I'm giving y'all too much damn free promo. All right. Okay. So, now here's the thing. We got questions for you. I got questions. How you doing first off?
You know what? I'm good. We've been doing a lot of stuff here at Hut 8. We just closed a massive merger. Bull market's looking like it's on its way. Hopefully rates come down in Q3, Q4. So yeah, feeling good. How about yourself?
I'm okay. I need a little explanation. The last time you were here, you abruptly ended the call and walked away. What happened?
What happened? I want to say oh yeah, I don't even remember. It was 2021.
No, I think it was like 5-6 months ago.
Was it?
Yeah, you said your legal team told you to get off. You must have said something.
Oh, no, I think, you know what it was? So prior to closing this merger, we had to file everything with the SEC. And obviously we always have to make sure that we're speaking on the right side of disclosures. And I always do, but you gotta, when you're in a process with an SEC, you need to make sure that you're just not spending too much time talking on social media. You know what I mean? So that was, yeah.
We thought you got fired, and then I saw you update your profile to you getting promoted. So congratulations on the promotion.
I'm a diehard Hut 8, crypto queen, Zila, whatever you want to call me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What the hell is going on with this merger? Can you explain this to us? I think there's a lot of confusion of what the merger is, why there was a merger, what it is, and what it means.
Yeah. Okay. So we merged with a massive private traded miner in the US. So we're publicly traded. They were a private company. It was a merger of equals. We loved the huge amount of power and power portfolio that they brought us. We love the fact that we now are a US domiciled company, which means we're eligible for indices. These guys bring a ton of different new business lines into our portfolio. And so these are some things that we are super excited about. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty sexy 2024, we think, for Hut 8.
All right. And
we still have 9,000 Bitcoin on our balance sheet. We're still bullish as hell about holding on to Bitcoin.
Well, if you walk early, you owe me one that you mine, so it's cool. So I don't mean to hit you hard with the questions, but that's just how I like to get it out of the way early. And I know you can only disclose so much, but what the hell's going on with the numbers and the float and the market cap and all? What happened there? What's going on?
So NASDAQ and Bloomberg, they were updating the new information manually. And so there was like a 5 business day delay. And then they finally got through with that this morning. Yahoo still hasn't updated the market cap. We're in their queue with our new data. They have our QSIP, they have our TSO, but yeah, they haven't updated it yet. So for sure, that's creating quite a bit of consternation as well.
I'm sorry, what's a Yahoo?
Yahoo Finance?
Not familiar.
Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, Yahoo?
Yeah, Yahoo Finance. They've got the
Yahoo. I'm sorry, I forgot you're Canadian. Okay, all right, I get it now. Okay, all right.
Wait, what did I say? Was I like Yahoo?
You're like Yahoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yahoo. Like you betcha. All right. So why did you guys decide to merge with a U.S. side company for the mining operations and stuff? Was this about energy? Was this about cost? Was it about like infrastructure? Was it about exposure? What was the reason?
Energy, infrastructure. These guys crush it at standing up infrastructure. They stood up 1 exahash in 43 days. There's a really interesting new business that's kind of like the CBRE JLL, but for Bitcoin mining and energy infrastructure, called Managed Services, that came with this deal that was incredibly sexy. And so, yeah, there's a lot of major upside here. Plus, they disclosed in our S4 that we actually did a purchase for some AI chips. So that's coming down the pipeline. So there's a lot that we're pretty pumped about here on top of our incredibly sexy stack. We just have a lot more room to be agile and pivot and return value to shareholders.
You say sexy a lot.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm just curious. Like you said, this sexy stack, this sexy opportunity. I'm thinking to myself, like I'm not really a crypto bro, so like I get that there's like a whole other language there. But I'm thinking about like a sexy stack. So you said you guys are sitting on 9,000 Bitcoins that you mined?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And is there any update? The last time you were here, you talked about you guys using, Canadian winters as part of the cooling, but you were also looking at some new technology. Has there been any update on the energy, like cost cutting on energy or new types of energy or what?
Yeah. So US Bitcoin Corp, which is the company that we merged with, they run sites that have a pretty substantial renewable mix because they're based out of Texas, and Texas has a lot of solar, has a lot of wind, which is great. There's also more competitive power markets that we're entering into now: New York, Nebraska, Texas. We also just got court approval 2 days ago that we are the successful bidder for a bid we're doing for plants up here in Ontario. So really diversifying this power portfolio, making sure it's competitive so that we can be agile, build mining infrastructure, build AI infrastructure, whatever it is a big part of the strategy here.
Okay. Now, Texas. Texas and power grids. Any concern there?
Yeah, you know what? Look, we've got a great relationship with Texas. The CEO of the ERCOT grid, he actually came out in the Senate and said, miners are actually an incredible complement and to the grid and very helpful with load balancing, because the problem with renewable grids is that there's intermittent demand and you need to have a grid that's balanced at all times. So we love Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. We love it.
Property taxes, yeah.
Yeah,
we've been talking about a lot of streamers that moved to Texas and how it was great for them because when you make a lot of money as a creator or a business owner, Texas is great because of the income tax, but the property tax is so high. So if you like stop making a lot of money, it obviously becomes not as affordable to live. So they were out there. But for the power side, I know that there was a company. What was it? It was. Sorry, I know they're your competitor, but I'm just going to do this. Riot actually had theirs in Texas, and they actually got a huge credit from the Texas government because they actually scaled back on their power usage for a while there, and that allowed them to get a big credit. Is that something that you guys are looking at as potentially something that could help you all too?
Those are the types of things that are available to us now that we're playing in those regions versus where we are here in Canada. So, there's a lot of potential upside there. Okay. And again, we love the Riot guys. The Riot guys are awesome. I don't know if they've been on your show, but
no, I've had you guys and Clean Spark I had on there, and not so friendly with Clean Spark, are we?
Oh no, we love Clean Spark.
Oh, we got the little eye. Hold on, I'm gonna put my earrings down.
No, we love Clean Spark. I love that they reached out to you after seeing me on your show. I love that.
They never said that was why they came.
I mean,
wait, did you just give yourself props?
No, look, honestly,
they sent me merch. You guys didn't. I've had you on here 4 times.
Are you kidding me?
No, you guys were supposed to fly me up for like I was gonna do like a video tour of your facility. That didn't happen.
Yeah, we're still gonna do that.
No, you're not. No merch. I've given you, ridiculous amounts of. But no, listen, that's not why we're here. I really want to bring you on because I think that you kind of have a way of explaining a lot of these things that is more along the lines of non-crypto people to understand some of this stuff, and so that's why I think it's awesome to have you on here. But at the same time, one of the things I like is that this is an opportunity that, a lot of companies, and I know you recognize this the first time you came on, and that was that the future of investing in companies is through retail traders. And the only way to get through to retail traders is to talk to them. But how do you talk directly to retail traders? So, you get an area like this where they can talk and learn about it. We're not promoting HUT or telling you to invest in it or anything like that. We don't know it's going to go up or down, but it's an understanding of how the inside workings of a certain type of company in a certain market works. So I love to open up more than me talking to you, which we still do, is I like to open up the floor to questions from them. And you're one of the people out there that are very, very good about answering questions live to these guys. So is it cool if we do that? Because I know we only have a limited time because you're a busy Canadian. Is that cool?
I'm getting my igloo ready for the winter, but I have time.
Igloo. You guys still have igloos up there? All right. Did you hear about this giant 4,000 square kilometer glacier floating rogue in the ocean?
Yes, it's wild.
Are you guys like planning on, putting any facilities there? I mean, that sounds like some free cooling opportunities.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's wild, that story.
Okay. All right. First question. Halving, is it really all do you think, in your opinion, the halving event is going to be this massive good thing for Bitcoin, or is it potentially going to bring new dangers?
So I think it is going to be incredibly bullish for the price of Bitcoin, because if you look at what players are now in the industry and taking it seriously in 2023, 2024 versus the last halving, which was 2020, it's a completely different landscape. So during the last halving, we didn't have BlackRock, who has a 99.8% success rate launching ETFs, throwing their hat in the game, saying they want to do a spot Bitcoin ETF. You didn't see settlements with regulators the way we've seen with KuCoin, Binance, Kraken, because in 2020, the conversation there was, maybe we should just shut it down. Everyone's just trading drugs on the dark market with these coins or with these POGs, whatever they were saying. You didn't see deals being done across the board from traditional banks in the sector. Already we've got futures ETFs. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a whole new class and demographic of people trading these products, looking at this asset class as a serious form of investment. And if Bitcoin were to capture even like 1% to 2% of gold's like $12 trillion place in people's portfolios, that would be north of 100,000 per Bitcoin. And things like the spot ETF, easy on and off ramp for institutions, pension plans, sovereign funds, et cetera, to express that opinion on Bitcoin and also easily get out of it. So I think that this is going to be incredibly bullish for the price.
All right. Well, recently there was a report that came out that showed that only 6% of wallets hold about 90% of the Bitcoin right now.
Yeah.
Now, with any commodity, if that were to be the truth about, let's say, gold, or it were to be about, something else, that would be a big concern, that if one of those wallets were to liquidate or to change hands or whatever, that could disrupt the market in a way that we've never seen before. What would you say to somebody who has that concern?
Yeah. So I think, again, the amount of daily active trading that we're seeing with Bitcoin, the amount of people that are now able to hold custody trade with Bitcoin, there's again, the levels of demand, the on-ramps to express like a bullishness on Bitcoin, or again, to sell Bitcoin, like the market has matured in a way that I think that, the way we see any sort of Tesla stock being traded, regardless as to whether or not there's a huge offloading, there's still a market there of demand. And if we have the spot ETF approved by BlackRock, Invesco, there's like 12 other companies that have put their hat in the ring to have a spot ETF. What is required of a spot ETF is you have to have, 1-to-1 backing shares per Bitcoin. And so again, those are auto buyers of Bitcoin. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that the concentration of coins in certain wallets is going to be a big issue, considering there's so much demand out there and there's natural built-in scarcity, right? Like rewards are getting cut in half as of May 2024.
Until Satoshi's coins come on the market.
Until what?
Nothing. So, but the other thing is, and this is just me, I like to play devil's advocate here. So if 6% of people own 90% of something, isn't that basically centralization?
Yeah. So you know what? I will actually agree with you on this. And the Bitcoin maxis or maybe some of the Fairweather Bitcoin maxis aren't going to love me saying this, but Michael Saylor, who's the CEO of MicroStrategy, we're good friends with Michael. We love that he's a Bitcoin bull. He's got something like a little over 195,000 Bitcoin on his balance sheet. I've certainly said, to some of my colleagues here, I'm like, we have a bit of a centralization problem here. But again, given the new products coming down the pipeline, the funds, pension plans, institutions who have never been able to participate in this asset class, either because custody couldn't be solved for, because regulatory parameters just weren't there, because account
the hell is going on?
Rules didn't make sense. Hold it as a treasury asset. All of that has changed.
Okay. No, and I'm not trying to like, it's not like an I gotcha moment. It's just something that I'm really
I hear you.
Curious about, because a lot of people, they have these questions and stuff. Also, blink twice if your legal team is standing next to you.
They're actually right behind me.
Thought so. Okay. All right. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, a couple more questions because I got them coming in here. Someone said, I know you have. Let me read the question real quick before I say it, because let me say. So I'm going to say it, and if it gets somewhere, let me just do it. So the question is, I know you have 6,000 rigs in storage at the moment, but in terms of the current self-mining fleet, can you give any insight into the upgrades, replacement, expansion timeline, and what would be the preferred way to finance it?
Okay, so that's interesting. Number one of the benefits of having such a large stack on our balance sheet is that it gives us a lot of flexibility, in the sense that we encumbered about 1,500 to take out a loan with Coinbase to reinvest it into the business and grow the business. So we still got about 7,500 Bitcoin that are unencumbered that we could certainly leverage to reinvest in the business, because obviously we want to keep hanging on to that coin. And it makes a lot of sense to take a loan out right now versus sell it to reinvest in the business, given that we're like 4 months away from the halving or 5 months away from the halving. So obviously I can't talk about anything that hasn't been publicly disclosed, but I can certainly tell you, Mike, the co-founder of US Bitcoin Corp, was one of the original procurement officers for Marathon and Riot. And I think he was like Bitmain's number 3 customer, like 3 years ago. He's fluent in Mandarin. And also his claim to fame is, I don't think he's ever paid more. What he's said on other podcasts is he hasn't paid more than $35 a terahash for equipment almost ever, in his own personal history. I'm not quoting that for, HUD or anything. But what I'm trying to say is we think we've got the right guy in place to make sure once we disclose what our plans are on the self-mining side, we're at about 7.5 exahash right now of self-mining, that we've got the right guy in place to drive some hardline ROI.
Okay.
On that side.
Can you give any status updates on North Bay, Drumheller, and Niagara Falls sites?
Yeah, so the status update on North Bay is, as I said earlier on this call, we just got approved as the winning bidder for the stalking horse bid for Validus's power asset. So Validus was the owner of North Bay, and they had 3 other power plants. And so when we got into a litigation with Validus, Jamie, our CEO, was like, F this, I want that power plant and everything else in your portfolio that's now gone into bankruptcy. So that is incredibly positive. 310 megawatts worth of power. We have a financing arrangement in place with Macquarie, and we're anticipating that being closed in January, obviously subject to court approval, etc. Drumheller. So now that we're finally closed, it's business time. We weren't allowed to use US Bitcoin Corp's managed services team, which is focused on like execution of infrastructure and has a big software layer or whatever. We weren't allowed to bring that team into the site prior to closing because that would have been seen as gun jumping. Anyhow, so now they're doing hardcore recon. Do we shut the site down? Do we turn it into an old age home for fully depreciated miners and flip them on only when the power pricing makes sense? So that's the update on Drumheller. That's the update on North Bay. And I can't remember the third question.
It was Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah. Niagara Falls is great. Yeah, it's up and running. We just plugged in 8,500 more machines from Celsius. So Celsius, the US Bitcoin Corp guys, they're bankruptcy junkies. So they also went after Celsius's bankruptcy assets. And they won that bid. And there's about 122,000 mining machines, about 12 exahash of mining machines that they're going to be managing. And about 8,500 are currently at our Niagara Falls site.
That is sexy.
Yeah. Right?
You stopped saying it after I said you say sexy a lot. Like I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. I was just making it note. I was like, all right, do it. So what I wanted to say was in all that, the thing that I took away the most is that y'all saw them go bankrupt. You saw these assets for pennies on the dollar. Somebody else's trash, someone else's treasure. You gone in and swooped that. And it's kind of like if you see someone throwing out stuff on the side of the road that's bulk, throw out night, they might be throwing out some good stuff. And there's nothing wrong with grabbing it up, right? They just may not have room in their house. You see a nice chair or a kid's toy thing, and you're like, hey, they're getting rid of it. I'll take it, right?
See, I don't know if I'd say it's someone else's trash, someone else's treasure, because these were, I would say it's someone else's default is someone else's dollar bill, is how I would say it.
I was just trying to copium for myself because I have a thing where, you remember a couple years ago when wood was super expensive?
Yes, I actually do.
Yeah, and so there was a time when people were buying houses and remodeling, and I would go out on bulk pickup trash night, and people would toss out all of their large pieces of good wood that they used to build or remodel and stuff like that. And I was like filling up my car with it, right?
That's
And
amazing.
and I told my community about that, and so I got known as Robin Wood, the Midnight Bandit. And now people actually send me pictures of wood and stuff on the side of the road that's going to be taken out and telling me if I need to know where it's at to let them know. And the truth is that I actually was collecting all that wood and I was donating it to the local farm that's a nonprofit that does like that gives like horse rides and animal therapy for like people with disabilities, disabled vets. But I didn't tell them that, so I'm just kind of going with it. So I was trying to like use you guys as an example of it's okay to do it, but then you ruined it by saying no, it's actually someone else's default is dollar bill, which means now I need to somehow get my neighbor to go into foreclosure and then take their house. So I will work on that. Thank you. Okay, last one from these questions is they said, I take it you want to grow all verticals simultaneously. Is there a vertical that has priority going into 2024?
Yeah, so we're going to let you guys know that as soon as possible. Okay. I do think that Jamie, our CEO, has publicly said that mining is much Bitcoin. Going into the halving is certainly priority to her. But then also, if you look on the AI side, we see some pretty compelling margins there. And like I said, we did place an order for AI chips for about 1,000 H100s. So yeah, we'll definitely let you know in terms of like what the plan is for 2024. But yeah, we're pretty bullish on some of these really meaningful upsides of us. And we've got over 250 people on the ground, right? So there's a lot of manpower and expertise.
Manpower. The company's completely run by women.
Yeah, a lot of...
It's 2023, Sue. Come on.
People power. Sorry, a lot of people power. So, yeah.
I was making sure your legal team is on board with us. All right, I don't see any other questions right this second. So my last one for Hut was, you guys are dealing with this merger right now, and you're getting this USAC. I know it's not something that, and you don't have to answer it, but I respect the fact that you will answer these questions if you can. And that is, when I make an investment, I'm not talking about Hut here, but I'm talking about you guys making an investment into another company. When I make an investment, I make sure that I give myself a bull case and a bear case on every investment I'm going to make so that I know I'm not going into it on cloud nine and I'm thinking. Are there any concerns, and if you can't, I understand, but if you can, we appreciate it. Is there anything that there's some concerns with this merger? Is there anything that you guys are hoping turns around? Is there anything that, is a little bit, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Is there is there anything that is a potential rockiness here or anything that, people may keep an eye on?
Yeah, I think certainly as you see, whenever any private company goes public, whether it be Coinbase, whether it be, name a SPAC, name an IPO when they've gone public, usually you see an absolute downward pressure on the stock because people who've been locked up for years finally have a liquidity event. And so if you look at how our stock has traded this week, usually our beta to Bitcoin is like 1.2, AKA we run 20% in the direction that Bitcoin is running. And so, where we've been trading for the past week, like obviously I cannot make any price outlooks, but I can certainly say that it does not look like it's fundamentals driven. Our business has almost never been stronger right now in terms of the amount of good news we have post merger. So I would certainly say that, this is sort of some short-term pain that we're going to see, or at least that we're seeing right now. But so that would be like, that's just me being super honest with you. Like I talked to a bunch of analysts about that this morning. But that's just what happens when a private company goes public. And this is what's happened with US Bitcoin Corp shareholders, right? With this merger, they now have like stock they can trade. And so we're seeing a lot of dark pool activity. But otherwise, no, man, like we've got a massive portfolio, tons of opportunity, huge stack of Bitcoin. We've got a really incredible like managed services business that's like, again, the JBRE, CBRE, JLL of infrastructure management. Effectively, I've been telling people that we're building like the Berkshire Hathaway of Bitcoin and infrastructure, energy infrastructure. So But yeah, that's the short-term headwind for sure, is we've got a lot of private players that are just wanting to make money.
Yeah. So. Do you guys have any concern about any kind of exit strategy with the Bitcoin that you're sitting on? Like at some point you guys are going to have to move off of it. Is there any strategy for that or concerns in the future?
Yeah, so I think we're going to keep leveraging the stack as we can going into the next halving. But like I said, we see so many new players who are bullish on this asset class, and where we're trading right now, given where we think we could be post-halving, like I said, if Bitcoin catches 1 to 2% of gold's market cap, HUT is sitting on 9,000 BTC. So that's like incredibly meaningful. So no, we don't have any concerns right now, but obviously we're continuously reviewing that case, and I'm sure we'll look at it again post-halving.
Well, I mean, the Sayer strategy seemed to work so far.
Yeah.
It is. So in 2021, 2022, when you first or second time you came on, you told me at the time, Bitcoin 100K, and we know that there's been a lot of volatility since then. Do we see 100K this year?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, 2024, yes. Yeah, I think so. Probably closer to the end. Another thing I think we need is interest rates to come back down and people go a little more risk on. Like Q3, Q4, if we're not seeing treasury bills paying out like 5%, I think we'll definitely see more risk appetite come on in the market.
Well, that cash has to go somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think that'll be a driver as well.
All right. How many Bitcoin did you guys mine in October?
October, that was pre-merger, and again, we've got some headaches at this Drumheller site, so it wasn't a substantial number. It was like a little over 100 that we added to our stack of 9,000.
Is there any plans to increase hash rate?
So again, I can't disclose anything yet, but I think it's safe to say that that's a direction that we're certainly looking at.
Okay, I just want to just curious because I know that again we had Clean Spark on here and they talked about how we're increasing, and so we're seeing that now that we've got this crypto boom cycle again. I know that a lot of people are trying to hop on, which the last boom cycle was insane because I mean it was so expensive just to get a GPU at the time, and now with the whole thing with Nvidia, now they've actually might have some excess because they have this trouble with China now and all the things that happened over there. So it's actually, compared to the last boom cycle, it's cheaper to actually, upgrade in some cases. There was it you guys that purchased some miners recently?
No, it probably wasn't. No, we haven't done anything.
Maybe that was Bit Farms. Okay. And as far as when you guys go into that, what is, from a company's financial standpoint, is that a wait and see process? Is that we look for companies that may fall and take their, be able to acquire their assets cheaper? Or if those two options don't come in and you see Bitcoin going, is it just all right, let's just, hey, like from a financial standpoint, from your understanding, what is the process to re-up or add miners to the fleet?
Okay, so historically speaking, we've always been buy in the bear market. Like we go shopping in bear markets. So I think we made a purchase order in 2021 and it was like, in the first bear market, and it was like we paid like $20 a terahash, and then literally 9 months later in the bull market, our competitors were paying $90 to $110 per terahash for that same equipment. So everyone had crazy write-downs the past 2 years. And then on US Bitcoin Corp side, like I said, Mike Ho, who's one of like the OG procurement officers for like the big boys, he's got incredible relationships and he's had a lot of success in terms of negotiation price and that sort of thing.
Okay. One thing that I've noticed, and I don't know, are you on the earnings call when you guys do earnings releases?
Yeah. I don't speak though, but yeah.
Okay. Have you guys started using or thought about using the word AI?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I know, because what we're seeing with AI is like what we saw in 2020 with blockchain. Remember when Long Island Iced Tea did it?
I don't want to think about Long Island Iced Teas. My 20s are not a good time.
Long Island Iced Tea blockchain, and then scored like 1,300%. I mean, look, you will see us start to talk about it more, but I agree, it's a powerful word.
Yeah, right, and well, the SEC is actually coming out now saying that people that are whitewashing or AI washing are going to be, you know, but then again, the SEC, you know, we know how long it takes. We're all friends with them though, but you know that it obviously takes a while with that. No, I was just wondering because, you know, NVIDIA, when their last two earnings, it was like AI this, like if you know, we're incorporating AI into our thing. And if you want to mine this, you can do AI, and AI is the future here. And, you know, it's interesting. So, you know, also Chat GPT and the whole thing with Microsoft.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot going on right now, and it feels like that there's still that bubble going on, but it feels like it's going to come back down at some point. And I know that you don't really, you know, spend too much time on AI, so I don't want to, like, you know, put you in any weird situations with questions on that. There's somebody else that had a question. The paintings behind you.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps asking about them.
These are the HUD 8 bursties. My head of marketing will be really, really happy that anyone commented on them. They're just the HUD 8 bursties. It's our new it's our new branding and logo, etc.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay, all right, yeah, no, everybody was saying that they were asking who made them, how much do they cost, is that in the merch store? One person said the one behind you looks like a French flag, but France right now.
Okay. That's deep. I'm just glad no one said it looked like a booger. I had an investor tell me that once on the call. And
well, like, there's a couple of them, especially the one behind you to your left on our side, that someone is down bad enough to see what they want to see. Well, not that one, but the other one. Okay. Someone else asked another question. I know how much more time do you have?
Like probably like 2 or 3 more minutes.
2 or 3 more minutes. Okay. Okay. Where was it? All right. You seem a little bit more like worried this time, like we're gonna say something, like we're gonna ask a question, you're gonna get in trouble again. I'm not gonna get you in trouble. My chat just keeps telling me that the YOLO for today is now up 110%, and I sold it 10%, so they just want to get me going. All right, do you guys have any more questions in the last 2 minutes? Somebody said, Sue, my family is giving me a hard time about mining Bitcoin. From our house. They say that I am just wasting my time. Even my stepsister is now getting into the mining world. Would you give us any? Okay, never mind. They want to know if you think that if mining at home is still something people can do, or they should just give up.
I mean, yeah, like if you're sitting close to a really cheap source of power, like if you are living next to a landfill that's emitting methane, and you have the technology to vent that methane into a Bitcoin miner, that could be like 1 cent power. I would still keep doing it. Like that's the beauty about mining, right? Like it's, you know, it works as cheap as your power is, or as expensive as your power is. So, yeah, if they can get cheap power, why not?
Now, what about, last question for you from me, because I haven't asked any. This guy, your opinion, is that guy's $128 million in Bitcoin in a hard drive that he says is a landfill? Do you think that's real, or is he just going for the attention?
You know what? I mean, definitely he sounds like a bit of an attention hoe, but like I know a few stories of people who threw out hard drives. Even like I have text messages from friends in 2015 who were texting me about like Bitcoin being at $700, like, should I buy some? And I was an idiot. And I was like, nah. But that's before I, you know, drank the orange juice or whatever they call it.
Kool-Aid. Yeah. Kool-Aid. You're in a cult. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, there was actually a time when, speaking of Twitch and stuff, there was actually a time when there was an esports competition tournament, and fourth place were getting something like 10 Bitcoin because they were worth like $1 a piece or something like that.
Right?
And that was an actual prize. I doubt those people are still holding. So, but no, the update on that story is the guy has actually secured investors for tens of millions of dollars to get AI robot dogs for protection and things to find this hard drive in this landfill and stuff. So if he is playing the long game and he's scamming people, then I don't know. It's going to be all right. And then I know you got to go. So I'm going to ask one more thing. When you first came on here, and we were new and we didn't know each other, you gave me a list of a bunch of random altcoins. Do you remember the names of those?
I probably would have said Solana. I probably would have said...
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. I probably would have said Solana. I probably would have said Render. I thought Render was really cool. That's like decentralized render for computing. I probably would have said like AVAX because I was a real I was really geeked up about AVAX for a while.
All right.
And Link. I hope I said Chainlink, but anyways.
Yeah. All right. So now that we've grown as people, looking back on those, any thoughts on them now?
God, don't remind me. Just listen, buy HUT, buy Bitcoin.
Like you can't say that. No, okay, you can, but not me.
That's not you. That's not you.
Not me. All right. Okay. So I know you got to get going. It was a short stream, but I know you're afraid to leave because you're afraid that it's going to call as a ghosting, and you're going to owe me 1 Bitcoin. Legal team didn't call you and tell you to get off, so I think we did okay this time. I wish we had a full hour like we did the last few times you came on, because we end up getting into it. Now everybody's ready to ask questions, but you busy people up there in Canada. So congratulations on the merger. I hope it works well for you guys. You know, that I've been watching the Canadian governmental updates on some things, and it seems like there might be some regulatory things coming down the line when it comes to different, subsidies and stuff. But now that you guys have the merger, obviously you have access to the different power grid. But yeah, we're gonna keep watching your updates on Twitter, and they always love it when you come on. You're their crypto queen. Congratulations. You are these guys' crypto queen. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because you say sexy, or because you actually really know what you're talking about. Either way, I appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. You're always welcome back. We love to have you. And is there any final parting words you have for them?
I would just say keep calm, huddle on, and I'm at Big Suey on Twitter. Shoot me a DM if you have any questions. Markets are a little hairy right now for us.
Well, they all know your original name.
Oh, yeah. But we're not going to talk about it.
It's funny because you used to be able to. Is it because you got promoted?
It's because I'm an important businessman.
Man, again. Ugh. All right, so we won't say it. But you were the one who told us, by the way.
I know.
Those were fun times, an innocent time before mergers and crypto winters and SEC regulations.
Totally, and NASDAQ listings and all that stuff. So
yeah, you see. Okay, all right. Well, good. All right, so keep calm, huddle on. Big Suey, just at Big Suey on Twitter. Shoot your DM if they have questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much. Big fan of your show. We love you
so much that I still haven't got even a T-shirt. All right, listen.
You're gonna talk offline.
I can tell you look like you're ready to choke me out right now. So
I'm ready to be like, damn, I gotta make it right. So.
It is what it is. Now that I'm out seeing other crypto mining companies, it's all of a sudden now you realize what you had. I get it. We've all been there. Sue, thank you so much. Tell your CEO that we're looking forward for one day her to finally come on here, and tell your legal team I said hi, and we'll chat soon.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.